with the spreader, sometimes if the repair's small enough, you can use that side of the spreader, but I always like to use this side. Just gives you a bit more width. So what you do, you just get it here. You can wipe it on there first, like so. Sometimes I do that, and then just ply it and sort of spread the filler on the panel. Give it a couple of coats, and then you can put on the flat part of the wheel arch. See the way I've just put the filler on the beginning there, spread that on there, lovely. You can see that you cut off any excess, and then you can rub. There you go. It doesn't matter. Don't always try to make it as smooth as possible, but if you can, it's good. What's important is you get the filler in the correct areas and the right amount. That is very important. Like here, I've just put that bit on there, but it's a little bit low there. So what I'm going to have to do, I'll have to put a bit more on there, spread it across. Right, now I've applied the filler. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to help it along a bit with a heat gun, which you might probably find in most body shops. Well, just put it on, and then just don't hold it directly on the filler. What you need to do is just move it, hold it a bit pretty close, but move it quite quickly just to warm it up a little bit. Right, and now I think we're ready for the rubbing down part of it. What I've got here, I've got two grades of paper. One's a 40 and the other one is an 80. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the paper in half, lengthwise. I'm going to start off with a 40, and then what I'll do, I'll finish off with an 80, and then I'll go down the grade as I'm getting it ready for primering. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to fold the paper twice, and the reason why I've done it like that is because the paper itself can be quite rigid, and sometimes with a repair like this it could be quite awkward to use a block. So this is just a trick of the trade that I've been using over the years. Right, when we start, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start doing the top part first. Don't worry about this section. This section, the flat of the wheel arch, will come after. I'm going to show you how to rub this section down, and then we'll do this section. Right. As you can see, I'm slightly bending the paper. As I explained before, the paper, the 40 production can be quite rigid, and you could use that to get a nice shape there, as you can see. I'm not putting too much pressure. All I'm doing is I'm holding the paper bent like that, as you can see, and I'm just using that to cut into that. But every now and again, stop and have a feel. It's like I said, it's very important to feel with the palm of your hand. You can feel there, and you can see where you've got a high spot. What I can feel at the moment, I need to take a bit more down in this area and a bit more in this area. And what I'll do, I'll just carry on until I've got it. And work your way backwards and forwards to the repair, because you don't want to uneven it. Just keep feeling it as you go along. Now what I'm doing, I'm getting the sandpaper and I'm moving it the whole distance of the repair now. I just want to get this part of the wheel arch, and then what I do, once I'm happy and I've got this area correct, then I'll start on this area. Obviously it's very important to get this line correct. As you can see, now I've got that area there, that's all nice now. Now I'm going to work on this section, which I will use a block. Right, there's the rubber block. You can use that, but I wouldn't recommend to use this to do. You can do, but it's going to be a lot harder to get a true shape. So what I've done is I've come up with a nice bit of wood like that, and you can see it's a lot longer, almost twice the length, and this will give you a much better, as you can see it covers more of the area, and it will give you a more truer shape, as I will show you now. Right, as you can see there, I've got it nice and flat there now. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the 80 production. Also cut that in half. Same as the other. Yeah, fold that 3 ways. I'm going to do this top section here by hand. As you can see, I've taken the filler down. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the 80 production just to take this top edge and give it the true shape. And I'm going to use that by doing it by hand. I don't want to use a block because it could mess up the shape here going round. So I just need to take the top edge of this line down a bit to give it a true shape. So what I do, I just start off, all I'm doing is that, I'm rubbing that down like that. Which is like so. And it's a bit too sharp, there's a little bit of a round edge on this wheel arch, but don't worry about that, because you can come back to that after. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to finish off a couple of little rough edges in this area, by not touching this area here, what I've just finished off. Just doing that. I'm just doing that here. There's a slight bit, a little bit of metal showing through there, bit part of the wheel arch. And it's sitting a little bit high. Right, these areas are a little bit proud. You don't have to go mad in tapping them down. Just be very gentle when you're tapping them down. You don't need too much weight behind the hammer, as I will show you. Just use it, tap it down, and then just feel it. And that is perfect there. And then what I'll do, I'll carry on to the next bit. Always feel in between your hammering. Like so. Now we're ready for the next step, which is the top stop, and that will give it the final finish. I've applied the top stop nicely. Make sure, obviously being a beginner or a learner, you're not going to get it on as nice as that. So just try to do it the best as you can. Practice makes perfect, as they say. What I'm going to start off with now is like I did with the filler. I'm going to start off with the top, and then I'm going to work my way on getting the perfect wheel arch shape here. Mask, like I said previously, important. And I'm going to start by work the rubbing down paper all the way along. I've only given this literally a skim of top stop, just to get the shape. Give it a nice feel in between. What I'm doing now is I'm just working on this section because it's very high. So that's why I'm just using the edge of the paper and my fingers just to get that shape. As you can see, it's come down nicely. And then what we'll do is just work our way around. Feel it again. That feels just right. Feel it again. Feels nice. What I'll do, I'm going to be using the block again. And this time I'm going to be using the 80 production on the top stop. As you can see there, that's pulled that back lovely. I did go a little bit too low there, but you can always work it back.